Hey everybody, Tom Moore here, your local Halifax Realtor. Today we are coming to you with a video on the 10 steps involved in selling your house. So let's get right into it. Number one, we are going to decide to sell our house. So this is going to depend based on the person, the family, whatever it may be. Everybody's situation is a little different. Maybe you're downsizing, maybe you're upsizing, maybe you want to sell and rent. Whatever it may be, this is going to be very dependent on your situation. So number two, we've got find a realtor. In this market right now where it's so hot, a lot of people think maybe, I should sell it myself, whatever it may be. We're still seeing for sale by owners leaving quite a few dollars on the table for sale by owners, somebody who's trying to sell their house themselves, right? So it's always important, especially in one of the biggest financial transactions of your life, that you have a professional opinion on that, right? So what are they going to do to differentiate themselves in terms of marketing and making sure that you get that top dollar? Okay, number three, we're going to price it. So again, the realtor is going to bring in comparable properties, show you the data, and really point out why they're pricing the property at that price point. And, at the end of the day, they need to prove why they are pricing it there, right? So a lot of people, sometimes they think it's priced too low, sometimes they think it's priced too high, but there's certain strategies in the market, especially in Halifax right now, where you want to price it at a certain level where you have a lot of that activity and have a lot of people putting in an offer on your home, because that's what drives it to the highest price point. So you're going to want to price it right. That's incredibly important. Number four, stage, clean, and market it, right? So this is, again, very important. You want buyers to really be able to see themselves living in that house. You want it to be nice and clean, for it to look pretty. And at the end of the day, those are some of the big factors that are actually going to sell the house. If you have an unstaged house, it's not going to photo very well. And when people look at it online, they may not be as attracted to it versus a professionally staged house in some cases, or just really a clean and, pretty sharp looking house is going to really show well. And when buyers come through there, they're going to be very excited about it. Finally, the marketing, right? So this is up to your realtor. They have methods to get the MLS there, whether it's locally, provincially, nationally, or even internationally. I'm with the Remax, so we have tons of offices all around the world, and we're able to get those listings out to those individuals. And sometimes those agents in other cities or other countries, whatever it may be, have buyers that are looking to move to Halifax, right? So this is a big thing. Some agents are going to do drone footage, YouTube footage, whatever it may be. Really, when you're finding that realtor, you need to interview them and see how they're going to differentiate themselves from the rest of the industry in terms of getting your property in front of the most eyes, right? And this has become much more important during COVID. Number five, we're going to list it. So this is basically us putting the property on the market, and then kind of deciding, before you list it, you're going to decide how long you're going to do showings, but this is the day that you actually list, right? So that takes us to our next point, which is showings. Now, in this market in Halifax right now, usually showings are only for under a week, and this increases the sense of urgency, gets people to put their money where their mouth is. So you're going to do showings for a week. People are going to wear masks. They got hand sanitizer there. It's going to be safe, encouraging people not to just open everything, rummage through the cupboards or whatever, but you still need to respect the fact that a buyer wants to know what it feels like to be in that home that they're buying when they're putting so much money down, right? Number seven, offers and counter offers. So, at the end of that week, let's say you put it on Monday, and Sunday the offers are due. Your realtor is going to bring over those offers. In this case, sometimes it's 5-10 offers, and they're going to assist you in choosing what the best offer is. Now, let's say you get an offer, and there's something in there or something that's not in there that you want in there. You can counter the offer and increase or improve the deal from your perspective. Now, you don't want to push too hard, but this is another area where your realtor is going to be able to come in and advise you and say, okay, listen, we can probably ask for this, or they probably don't need to have this in there. So this is another very important point where your realtor is going to be there to kind of advise you through this process, right? So once we've countered, we are going to be under contract. So that's basically, okay, the deal is on, let's get this ball rolling, right? Then we're going to be in the conditional stage, which is basically, if the buyer has asked for anything from the seller, maybe it's paperwork, whatever it may be, that is the time for the seller to do their part of the deal. But the big aspect is going to be the buyer's conditions, right? So maybe they've got an inspection, they've got to secure financing. This is kind of the due diligence period where the deposit is down, and depending on the price point of that house, it's going to vary, but the buyer is still doing their own due diligence, and the seller might be getting paperwork prepared for them, right? Now, if the deal falls apart during this stage, then the buyer gets their deposit back. But, this is just, it's there for everybody to make sure that they're all satisfied, all good to go for closing. So again, number 10 is closing. Basically, let's say, typically the conditional period is about 2 weeks. So, you've got a week of showings, accept the offer, 2 weeks for conditions, and then the closing period. So closing could be, it really depends on you, the seller. So, or currently it depends on you, the seller. Maybe this period is now the sold sign is on the house at the end of conditions. So there's maybe a month or 2 or 3 or less that you need to either find out where you're going to be moving to, purchase a new home, or just move your stuff out. It's that easy, and it's really going to depend on a case-by-case basis. All right, folks, I'm Tom Moore, your local Halifax Realtor. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got any other ideas for me, feel free to shoot me a message, and I'll be sure to get on those for you. Have a great day.